Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Three Best Friends. The 2016 season was over, and guys, it was a hell of a year.
Oh, a hell of a year. Great
I got
time,
Nick and Dom
great
here.
memories, that's for sure. Right,
That's for
guys?
damn sure.
But more memories to come. Cheers
Absolutely.
again.
2017 is going to be a hell of a year.
Even
We have
better.
a lot of trips planned. We have a subscriber that reached out to us to go to California. We got Dom's parents who actually moved to Florida. We're going to make a couple trips out there. We got Texas coming up. We might try to make a trip up to Lake Fork again. And it's just going to be an all-around great 2017. But as the season came to an end, we got to go over our top baits and tell you guys what we caught the most fish on to close out the year and gear up towards 2017. So I challenge you guys to go buy these baits because they actually work for us. Leave a comment below if you have a lot of these baits, or comment what worked for you as well. And please subscribe. We're going to start off with Dom. We're going to kind of do a round table and go off what our favorite baits are.
Hey, Dom, tell us what's the best bait that you use for fall season first.
There you go.
Alright, well, I guess we could start off with my spin bait then. My spinner bait. This is a Strike King spinner bait here. Quarter ounce.
Yeah,
quarter ounce over here with the trailer hook. I always talk about using white. I think white is the best color for, I mean, pretty much any bait, at least up here in Northern Illinois. But I mean that's my color of choice. This one right here.
Catch your PB?
I caught the 4.5 pound bass on here this early fall.
What do you
That's
got,
right.
Nick?
My favorite fall fishing lure, I would probably have to say, is a finesse jig. This jig I caught normally when the fish are getting out of the spawning season. They're still slow on it. Use this. I mean, the color is a darker color, and especially with the waters at that time, it's not really clear. It's more foggy, so they like the darker color. So I get a lot of bites. I had a lot of luck with this finesse jig. Caught a lot of bass, and all
I think
kinds
that
of fish
one
with
is
it.
bluegill, right?
Yeah,
The bluegill color?
yeah. This is the bluegill color. Again, favorite fall jig is the finesse jig.
I would say mine is the jerk bait. I caught a lot of fish on this. This one is Mega Bass, the Vision 110, and it has produced some not only largemouth but a lot of smallmouth too. With Northern Illinois, we live right by the Fox River, and we try to fish that as often as possible. But a lot of clear water too, because we're right by Lake Geneva, and a lot of clear water as well. So the jerk bait definitely, I would say, is one of my favorite fall baits. Let's move on to summer.
Summer, which we like to use. Actually,
skip spring.
Yeah, let's do spring.
we're gonna do spring.
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, I'm gonna go to my white colored Rapala crankbait. I call this thing Old Faithful here. It's just a normal crankbait here with a little white, yellow stripe, little blue on the top. It's got this little orange dot here on the bottom. Again, a very attractive bait to these bass. I call this Old Faithful because I've caught not the biggest, but the most bass on this lure right here. So
Quantity
This is
sometimes
something-
is better than quality.
yeah, sometimes quantity you just
Yeah.
want to take, especially when we're all on the boat together and we just aren't catching much.
Competition.
But yeah, we get in a little competition, and when they start coming in, this is what I'm using right here.
And every time he uses that jig, I always question myself, why am I using a different lure? Because he catches,
He catches a lot
ton
a
of
lot
bass
of fish on that.
on that one lure. And we call it the
I
Old
think-
Faithful lure.
Yeah,
So.
I think that one day in Lake Geneva, I think 8. And
Yeah.
about after that
More than
storm.
that.
Yeah, he got about an 8
But
in
no,
about,
that was
within-
only in
within
about
30 minutes.
That was less than an hour. Yeah.
Leave a comment below with your Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Old
What's your
Faithfuls.
go-to bait? Your number one bait when things aren't going right, and you just know when you throw this out, you're gonna get something.
If we have 25 comments, we're gonna do a giveaway. How about that?
It sounds good
Sure.
to me.
Maybe we'll throw in 3 of our Old Faithfuls.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite spring lure, I like to do something a little bit different than Dom. I like to try different lures every single maybe 10 minutes. If I'm not catching a fish, I'll change out my lure.
Accurate.
That's true. That's
Accurate.
very true.
Only because I like to see what's the best biting, what's the best time of year for that. Cut and edit that.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
But my favorite spring lure is a spoon. I like to use a spoon only because the spoon you never know what you're gonna catch. So I like to use different types of lures to attract different types of fish. If Dom's using his old faithful lure and he knows he's catching 8 bass in like 10 minutes, I use a different lure than him if we're on the same boat to try to attract different types of species of fish. So I like to use the spoon. This is made by Daredevil. Again, it's a shad color. And have a lot of luck with this. Caught a lot of northern. They're bigger species of
We're
fish.
doing spring, right?
Caught a giant striper on that actually trolling.
yeah,
that was a surprise right there.
Caught a hybrid striper on this one too. Yeah,
That
like I
was a
big
said,
one.
like I said,
Yeah.
different species of fish
Tastes good,
other than
too.
bass.
Yeah.
Try
How many
using a
pounds was
spoon.
that thing?
That's the hybrid striper was I want to say about 8 to 9 pounds.
Yeah, it was a
Good
big, it was a
size
fat
striper
boy.
bass.
We're doing spring, right?
Do what you want.
One other thing I want to add with this spoon, I caught a lot of salmon and chinook, cohos, spring coho, kings, you name it.
I'm gonna say my spring bait of choice when the fish start coming out of spawn is actually gonna be the Rapala, the square bill crankbait. It's the Clackin Crank 74, and got a ton of rattles. I don't know if you can hear it from there. You probably can, but super loud. But with the baits, with the fish starting to spawn, they look to get bait that is a little coming closer to the shoreline, and with this bait being so loud, it attracts awesome attention toward wanting the fish because they don't like to move a lot. So once this comes to the shoreline, they attack it, and I've gotten a lot of blow ups off of this this bait.
No, I don't remember opening it.
Let's do
No, we'll stick to that because we went earlier this year. We went fishing in the Fox River out in Algonquin. I guess that still is at Buffalo Park.
Yeah.
And we ran into an older fella that
Herman.
Herman.
I want to give a shout out to Herman. He was a really nice
Herman,
guy.
you're the man.
Really good guy.
Taught us
He goes to the same
some tricks that
spot
we didn't know.
every day.
Every day.
Every day. And we saw him there. We walked to that same spot. He happened to be there. He was there probably for 30 seconds already, pulled in a nice smallmouth. But we were talking to him, and he asked if any of us had this. This is another Rapala crankbait, orange colored here. Let's see here, it says the Scatter Wrap 5. That's probably the color right of the...
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Scatter Wrap 5 Rapala, he said this is the #1 bait for largemouth in the beginning of, or end of spring, beginning of summer. First cast I threw this in, smallmouth right on it, no problem at all. But this thing is deadly to smallmouths. They love it, we love it.
Yeah, and actually that same kind of color with the lipless, I call it, all the smallmouth at the little Fox River.
And this thing, I just like bought this on accident. I didn't even, like I said, I love using a white colored bait, so just buying this just to have a variety, and as soon as I threw it in, this thing was attacked. But it was a real nice smallmouth. Sir?
What are we talking about, summer now?
Whatever.
More so whatever. I mean, I can actually jump in on that. So to go with the same color combo that Dom's actually talking about, it's got the orange belly, dark back, and a little tight presentation with a very slender and small trailer. This one actually does wonders for me, especially when the fish are a little more pressured and you just need to be a little more subtle with the bait. You hop this along the bottom of the river, and I have seen blow-ups on this thing. I mean, I could probably caught that one day.
Close to at least 30, 40.
Minimum. I mean, this thing was producing. This is a Strike King finesse jig. The same thing as Nick's. His is a different color, but he uses, during the fall and late summer, the bulkier presentation, so the fish actually want to eat and bulk up. But during the spring, when they're just coming out of spawn, and early summer, like Dom was saying with the orange color, and going through the rivers and bumping it off rocks and pylons, this finesse jig with the slender profile has killed it for me.
One of the lures that I like to use in summer, ponds, lakes, you name it, is a shaky head worm. That with the wacky worm
Can't go
works.
wrong.
Can't go wrong with
No.
that. Anywhere you go, a lot of ponds normally works best for bass, but even bigger lakes, we fish Lake Geneva quite often, almost every weekend in the summertime. And the wacky worms and the shaky head worms, I would have to say is my top one choice of lures. We caught tons of smallmouth and bass with
You
these.
like the finesse worm, right? The zoom.
Yeah, the finesse worm, the zoom with what do you call this hook again?
The Gamakatsu.
The Gamakatsu hook. You
the
basically
weedless.
the weedless. I wish I had my wacky worm to show you guys, but all you do is just hook it. It's dangling down, and you just pop it off the bottom, and it does wonders. That's my number one lure for the summertime.
Alright, we could switch it up a little bit. I know everyone probably uses this. The lunker hunt, frog. I mean, anybody who uses a frog knows, how great they are in the water. Top water bait. I mean, these things.
There's nothing like top water
Nothing
fishing.
like top water. When you see that fish just come up and grab this thing, it's a great thing to see.
It's literally the best feeling.
Best feeling in
I
the
would
world.
have to say, when you see
Yeah,
a fish
I mean,
hit a top water lure, your
bringing
heart
these-
just basically just stops.
I mean, I like the lunker hunt because I thought this is the most real looking out of all the frogs that I had a choice of at the store that day. But
That's pretty much what
This
got you
thing-
addicted to fishing. Remember, Dom?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I wasn't a huge fisherman, before I met these guys. I mean, we became a lot closer, and they took me out fishing, and the first thing I used was a frog. They told me to throw it on, and when I saw that thing just come out of the water and grab this, I was addicted right away. So, I mean, I love using frogs, especially in the summertime, and the fish are a lot more active. Wintertime, you don't really want to use that. Late fall, they're a little slower in the water, but summertime, they're hungry.
Nothing
They're
Yeah.
they're ready to go. So, fishing with these topwater frogs is one of the best.
I definitely agree.
I agree too. I mean,
But
you can see
let
here.
me add to that with Dom. When you do fish these topwater frogs, the best time we catch fish is when the water's more calm.
And the morning time.
Yeah, usually morning times is when they actually hit these top waters. Other than that, if it's a little bit windy, wavy, a lot of people might have better luck, but we usually don't have that much luck with that. So my recommendations: just fish it when the water's calm, usually early in the morning.
Calm and early when they're ready for breakfast. I use the booyah frog. I don't have a lunker hunt, but obviously it looks super real. But the booyah in the I think there's the bullfrog color, and but the main choice of
popcorn in the microwave.
yeah, you can do that. The main choice of bait that I use, honestly, and you guys have seen my videos and have seen the videos, is I use the Rage Craw, Texas rigged Rage Craw. This thing absolutely murders the fish.
Did I talk about my same lure?
Everybody has a different way of catching fish. Dom might be a professional chatterbait fisherman. I might be a professional Texas rig fisherman because I catch more fish on this than I've ever seen anyone catch. And Nick is absolutely killer on the lipless crankbait
Lipless.
fisherman. But everybody has their own techniques because when I fish lipless, I don't catch as much fish as him. But when I fish Texas rig, he doesn't catch as much fish as me. And when Dom fishes the chatterbait, nobody catches as much fish as him. So just because you do it doesn't mean everybody else can't. But like Dom said, we didn't, when we became friends, it was cool. But what really brought us together was fishing and actually hanging out together because you kind of get bored just doing the same thing.
You have a good group of guys like this,
Yeah,
where you can laugh all day on the boat
literally.
or on the shore, even when you're not catching a damn thing. fishing
Yeah, yeah.
is a great thing.
Exactly.